Welcome to Dead by Daylight Bootcamp, where every single Friday on Twitch you hop into a safe, kill your friends environment with our community to learn the things that you are trying to get better at in Dead by Daylight. For the first time ever, today we are looking at 4 Survivor players who are transitioning into playing competitive, sweaty, hardcore Dead by Daylight for tournaments. What decision-making skills carry over from solo queue, and what could you learn in this competitive scene that could carry into your current matches?
I'm excited to be here. I think this is a really cool opportunity. So you guys mentioned camping, sort of countering camping a little bit.
Yes.
What else are kind of the pain points, do you guys think?
If it happens that one of us gets into like the first chase
Mhm.
and it goes too quickly, we tend to struggle kind of coming back from that. Some of our decision making probably.
Okay. I love that.
I'm in circus. Oh, crap.
Correct.
Responding
I'm right
other.
behind you.
We don't know clock calls on this map, but if we do Shack as
Yeah.
bottom, we can kind of navigate around that, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, it
I'm
is
going-
Slinger.
Nice. Okay. But he might still maybe be able to put a curtain on you. We'll see what happens.
I'm trying to see if I got a trail at all. Yep, okay. I'm working on main.
He was just
Oh
like-
no, he saw me.
Nice. Okay.
I was trying to save my sprint burst like an idiot.
If Circus is 12, I'm on generator at 4.
I'm coming into main.
If you want to take main, I'll go down here.
Good job splitting up.
I'm gonna head up towards Circus.
I'm actually heading towards Shack.
Oh, we have Corrupt at Circus. Okay.
Yeah. Corrupt is getting a little bit of pressure.
Shack Gen or Shack pallet is thrown,
Good call.
and I go down.
That'll be down 1. And that is corrupt. So that'll be okay. 2 gen loss isn't bad.
So I'm kind of near the hook. I'll see if I can get attention, and then Robbie, you can go for the save. Yeah, he actually took her further away than I thought.
He's heading towards where I saw Vittorio.
Main.
He's in main. He's on me. Oh, he got me. He got me.
Do you want to take the window out of main?
So I think there's a little bit. Yeah, I think this is a rough call. Yeah.
I'm headed towards Circus if anyone needs reset. Oh. No.
I'm recovering with a med kit.
You said you're heading towards Circus.
Yes.
Okay, I'm making my way.
Going into main.
I see.
We didn't finish main
Let's
gen,
move
did
like
we?
right here. If that's
No.
okay.
No.
Yeah.
Deadlock got it.
He's kicking it. I just saw him through the window. He's
Yeah.
vaulting.
Alright, I'm hopping on it now. We want to call out just in case of eruption. Main gen's about 90%.
He's on the hill, just kind of, doing his thing, I think. He might be going back into main.
That's
I
fine,
do have-
main's done. Oh,
Okay, I'll go for save if you want to do
I don't, you don't have to save me.
He's got deliverance.
Oh, he's got deadly.
Oof. Close shot.
He's coming back to me.
we do want to make sure we get him away from you before you pull. I know you
To
have.
pull right now.
Yeah.
I have on off the record though, so don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry about me, kid.
Trying to think of where he is. Okay, I'm gonna reset
Then I'm gonna start scoring.
in case we
Okay.
need people. Alright, hopping on the gen at 6 o'clock.
We're about to pop a gen at Carnival.
Okay.
It's going to you.
Yeah, he's on. He's got me.
I've got stored energy deposit. then-
Deadlock.
Okay, I'm going for save.
I have reassurance if you need it.
You left me.
He's checking hook.
Back on me.
Dino, over at door. You need reset.
Yes.
I can't get him.
No, go for the save. Go for the save. Go
Got it.
soon.
I'm gonna lead him away.
Or reassurance, at least.
Yeah, if nothing else, we'll get the reassurance.
Nope, I go down. He did a really good predict on my window.
See if he comes back to hook. Yeah, that's smart. This is a tough situation.
Okay.
He has
I haven't been hooked yet. I have kinship.
Oh my god.
I'm just crawling away.
Got lucky on
Okay.
that.
I'm gonna try to stay with you, Robin, just to.
Where are you?
Alright.
I'm behind you.
Behind you as well.
Oh, everyone's
I'm
here.
almost to a pallet, and I'm gonna start recovering once I get there.
Okay.
I'm used to you being Vittorio.
So 2 people have to mend right now.
That's
He's
not
gonna
good.
kill him out. So really the game is
It's
stopped.
fine, he's
from the
slugging.
progress. Yeah.
If someone could like get his attention, I have Unbreakable. Well, everyone's gone.
Yeah.
I think he's coming to look for me.
Yeah, he's actually giving away some pressure here. Interestingly enough.
Did he stay on you, do you know?
Good, dead hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Robin, do you want to reset at chat?
Sure, but I also think we should just like do gens.
Two gens?
I'm one of the gen by Shaq.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I think if you guys spend too much time, you've spent a lot of time healing already, and that's given him just enough pressure.
Yeah.
And most of you are not dead. Only one of you
I
is.
have
So.
kinship, so I can honestly hang here for a while, even if I hit second.
Alright, he's on the way. Running early.
Good down there. Let's see.
Robin, are you near Dino?
I can be.
He's looking for you if you want to activate kinship.
I'm by Dino.
Good call outs.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, he's heading back to hook.
Run towards circus.
He's back at Shack.
He's just kind of camping there.
I know we have a gen at 6 o'clock and at like 4,
Gen by Shaq.
7.
6.
Sorry. There's one by Sin. There's one at 6 o'clock. Where are our other 2?
He's camping at me, so. Well, he's leaving now.
Alright.
Coming for me.
I'm concerned about you guys running in twos.
I'm going down.
In
Right.
pairs.
Yeah, I think splitting up in completely separate places is the only way any of you are getting out.
Okay.
I know that may not be instinct with certain perks and things like that, but if he runs to that gen, he displaces all of you.
True.
Oh, I was almost around the rock. That gen is close.
Good job splitting up there.
So, I know the gen that Sin died on was close. Should I bother going over there, or should I stick to this one?
I wouldn't, because he knows those gens are so close that he might patrol them in a lot of scenarios, depending on like what perks he brings. If he were bringing brine or overcharge or things like that.
Life.
Additionally, the good call out from Mimic would be that he's near those gens right now and being looped, so you staying where you are would be the play. Good job there, Mimic. Checking your back.
Chasing the main still. Oh. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah. Then he's gonna maybe come out and check that gen, so that's why he's gonna hook so close. Ooh. Oh. Wow.
Ah, close.
Panicked.
Wow. That's GG's. What a match, honestly. He brought Desslinger. He brought, for your edification, he actually brought Deadlock, No Way Out, Corrupt, and then Save. So he brought a fairly soft build regarding comp. So I don't know if Dro is still hanging out. If you have a moment, feedback would be really cool. If you wanted to hop into the voice channel in Discord, you don't have to. I think the match was deeply fascinating, and the match started off in such a way that I thought you guys were going to do phenomenally. Everybody was fairly split up as things were going, and you guys were really very gen focused. I would just be a little careful with looking behind us. There's a few times where he's able just to mind game into you guys pretty well, like right here. Knowing that you could get shot through the window, I'm sure was a big reason why you like darted out. But then something like this is you know, he gets you pretty good there. Things dissolved a little bit, obviously around the 3 gens completed mark. I would say there's a few moments, I think where things started to fall apart a little bit more is right here. I think 2 people on 1 gen in comp is not, you know, for the first gen maybe, but typically, I could be off the mark because I haven't played comp in a while, but I think if you guys were on separate generators, you would be applying a lot more pressure. Quite frankly, he's not ever going to come back all the way back here. So I think ultimately, I think one of you would have gotten away with this. But you know, had somebody been on one person on that gen, one person over here, and then one person pressuring that gen all the way over at Shack, while, you know, Ash is using Deliverance or something like that, I think you start splitting that pressure up a bit more, and I think maybe he would have landed with a 2K at best. I think in this moment you had the space to get that unhook without, like, yeah, maybe Ash gets hit, they have off the record, so, you know, maybe they go loop again for a few minutes. No reason to necessarily greet it, but in this moment here, you're here. And then as we see this sort of play out, one person's on hook, you're here, and then both of you, like everyone's right here. Like this is the death of a match. I look for this when I play solo. Like you have one person here, Ash is there, and then you're down. Nobody's on gen. Like the match has effectively stopped, and I think this is a really tough time where there should be a little bit more divvying of like the roles of okay, maybe, you know, maybe you continue going at, like, you work the gen, you know, Vittorio, you got the unhook, but now you bail, you go to a separate gen, something of that nature. This, if he wanted to, I could see Dro turning around and just slugging. I mean, he obviously gets like a great shot here that forces a mend. Like this could have easily turned into like almost a 4-man slug, and if this was a nurse, oh my god, you know, like that would have been kind of game set match. So just being careful of these like grouping moments. You really shouldn't be running in 2s often, especially against a killer like Nurse or something like that, but the directive should be to like split up and get back onto generators as fast as you can. And this is kind of the thing, Casey, so staying apart is better so you don't risk more than one person being injured. That's the big thing. Killers, if they're in an area, then they are pressuring that area, right? Like they can only pressure one area at a time. The more survivors that are in a spot, the more survivors that are pressured by that killer, right? So if survivors are on multiple generators, well, the killer can only move one of them, you know, realistically. And so if you're going for comp, at some point it's like gens before friends, like, oh, they're on Death Hook or he's camping. All right, everybody get on a gen. And I think you guys tried to do that here. The problem is the gen spread did not necessarily work out in your favor as well. And that might be something worth.
Yeah, that's something that like we think about somewhat,
Mhm.
but we've definitely had moments where like we either got lucky with how we happen to do gens, or
Right.
we focus too hard on breaking up a 3-gen, and then suddenly there's a 3-gen on the other side of the map.
Bro.
This is weird.
It is weird. Yeah, no, it's phone a friend. Yo, also, I just need to you hit insane shots. Like, just
Thank you.
went nuts. But what do you think for these guys? What really helped you clinch it? Not necessarily juking or anything technical like that, but in terms of like decision making.
No. Overall, at the beginning, the match started off pretty good. I felt like I was really easy to make them like all go to one location instead of staying split. I find that in the comp scene, staying split is the most important thing. So having, I guess, at the beginning when I hooked one person and then 2 people went for the unhooked, that's already like kind of a little bit of a bad call, because by doing that, I know that 2 people are on this side of the map and then the third one is on the hook, so it kind of could keep you guys in the same area. So trying to stay separated is really, really key. In terms of that, I think people kept doubling up on generators a little bit too early. Splitting gen pressure, especially against slow killers like Slinger, because you will probably won't see Slinger in the comp scene to begin with, but making sure that you guys stay split on gens is really important. And then really communicating who's going to go for the save and when. Also, there was a down that I got on somebody near a pallet, and you guys kept trying to go for the pickup. I wouldn't go for the pickup unless the person's maybe on death hook. Maybe just allow that person to be hooked. Because I'm going to down him. If he's around a pallet, I'm already going to waste some time just looking around the pallet. And if I don't find anyone, I'm just going to hook anyway. That's his first hook. The 3 of you could have been doing gens the entire time instead of having people trying to go for the pickup. And in terms of that, just some looping in general, not because it's just a slinger, but just a little bit of patience. Because I was able to mind game some areas, even though all you had to do was like wait and see me coming and then vaulted, but instead you guys just committed to vaults. But aside from that, you guys did like pretty well, honestly. My build was kind of comp stuff. You'll see a lot of deadlock and a lot of no way out, because even if you guys finished the last jet there with 2 people, I probably could have gotten at least 1 more kill at the end there. So also communicate when gens are about to pop, especially if there's deadlock. That way you guys kind of plan ahead, being like, I have the most progress. I'm going to get off this gen early and go somewhere else to do something else more useful instead of just staying there waiting for the deadlock to pop. But that's my only advice, really. I think they did pretty good aside from that.
Beautiful. Yeah, you nailed a lot of stuff that I kind of thought as well. And honestly, it's great to hear from your perspective, because your intuition mid-match of like, oh, okay, well, nobody's here or people are in this like way out of position spot. It's one thing for me to see exactly where everyone is, but it's if that's your intuition mid-match, then I can only imagine how that scales if somebody's playing a nurse and they're just putting the pressure, or something like that. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because especially because I was playing a slower killer, they really could have punished me a bit more. But especially because you guys probably going to verse a lot of nurses in the comp scene, splitting and immersion is huge. And that'll probably be my biggest advice as well. Like, don't let me find you, because a lot of people don't use really a lot of aura stuff when it comes to comp. A lot of people just use their intuition to find people. So if you just kind of act more stealthy and make sure you guys don't 3-gen, you guys are pretty good.
Nice. Okay.
So I guess like biggest takeaways: heal less, gens more, treat each other like we have cooties.
Yeah. Independence is a killer's worst enemy, right? From my perspective, if somebody can unhook themselves, if they can heal themselves, if they can, then they don't need anybody else. What killers really strive for is to push everybody together, right? So like, 2 people are healing each other. Now somebody has to come for this unhook. No gens are being worked. Ha ha ha. Like, killers are trying to keep you guys off of gens, and the natural way of doing that is forcing you to help each other. The more independent you are, the stronger you are as a team, ironically. So yeah, I would say not necessarily healing less, but there are scenarios, right? I guess this kind of goes into it when it comes to splitting up, but like 100% if the killer catches you out, just W as far away from like a hook or from a gen that's almost complete, or as far as you can, as fast as you can, just to give your team more space to make, you know, you don't want to be caught like two people slugged or one person slugged near the hook, or, you know, just things like this. Really being aware of like making space for your team as much as you can, as fast as you can. So like right now, Vittorio, like if Ash is going into main, Vittorio should not be going to main, even though this seems like safety. Well, you haven't been hooked, so you know, like that's not the worst thing ever. At this point, then Nancy goes out towards Shaq, like you guys four corners sort of thing, so that you're staying as split up as possible, and really, you never, like as a killer, if I can only see one person at a time ever, I'm losing my mind. It's frustrating. But if I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, here they all are, you know, like I said, that pressure's just, it's not there really. The other thing, I just as an aside, I would be careful with some perks. Certain tournaments and things like that will ban them. So somebody mentioned Circle of Healing. Circle of Healing's banned in most tourneys, so that's why I don't think anyone's running Circle of Healing. I know Hyperfocus is banned, and you guys aren't using Hyperfocus right now, I don't believe. You know, things like that. So I don't know how Potential Energy is going to stack up. I think it'll be mostly fine. But just being aware of that, I'm not sure how that's where that's gonna fall. So
Yeah.
Did you guys have any other questions or anything? I think the big one is just spreading out and designating one person to do one thing. Like, oh, are you getting the unhook? Okay, you get it. Stuff like that. You know, just being as independent and like decisive as possible. And honestly, if a killer's camping, that's a whole. We didn't really get to see that in a way that, but yeah, if a killer's camping and things like that, that's a bit of a different.
When a killer is camping, because we've been in that scenario before, and then the commentator was like, oh, if they had two healthy people go for the hook, and I think that's kind of like where we're like so prepared for, like, if they camp, two of us going for that might have been what happened, but they said if they had two people going for the hook, they could have handled the camping scenario. Is that how we should play it if we do get to like
camping is tough? I would say that it depends. In comp, I've seen a lot of gens before friends sort of stuff. In a lot of cases, one person could run up reassurance and then bail, you know, and just everybody keeps pumping gens that whole time, because at the end of the day, you're really trying to think of like how do we get the most points? Well, by gens and then escapes. How many people can escape? And so like at this point, you know, you could run up and get a 2-man, because the killer will grab one person, and then while they're being grabbed, someone can get the unhook or something like that. You can. It just gets risky. In a lot of cases, you know, the killer might go for the grab, and you know, you fake the unhook, they go for the grab, they swing, you take the hit. And then the other person, you know, there's all scenarios like that. But I would be careful with it. I've seen a lot of comp that just turns into like, oh, you're being hard camped until stage 2. Then we're just going to do gens for the next 60 seconds. And because 60 seconds is a lot of time for 3 gens to be worked on. In some cases, that might be the right play, you know, is letting someone die on first hook so everybody can get out or something like that. So just being aware of like, somebody might have to die, you know, trying to preserve everybody isn't maybe as important as sacrificing one for the many sort of thing, you know.